Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer on the AssetPro platform. Today, we're exploring what is essentially the ultimate integrated ecosystem for complete asset lifecycle management. Look, whether you're operating out in the field, running a warehouse, or crunching numbers in the boardroom, keeping track of physical assets can be an absolute nightmare, right? I mean, we've all felt that immediate panic when a critical piece of equipment goes missing or dealt with the massive headache of a lost paper audit clipboard. Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to look at how AssetPro literally brings order to that chaos, giving you total end-to-end control, visibility, and accountability over your entire operation.
Okay, let's dive into this. We'll be covering the core foundation, operations and the field, asset intelligence in action, empowering your people, and finally, the integrated advantage. Think of this as our roadmap, guiding us seamlessly from the very moment a single asset is digitally born in the system, all the way up to those high-level management insights you need to run the show.
But before we get into the specific tools, we really need to nail down the core philosophy driving AssetPro. And it all boils down to one absolutely crucial concept: a single source of truth. This is a centralized data layer where every single module reads and writes instantly. It's a real game changer because it completely eliminates data silos, wipes out the need for manual syncing, and gets rid of duplicate data entries across the enterprise. Honestly, this foundational idea is exactly what gives your organization that ultimate control and visibility we just talked about.
And that single source of truth? It acts as the primary engine powering exactly 7 distinct, specialized modules, along with a cross-platform mobile app. Now, each of these 7 modules tackles a highly specific domain, like fleet management or warehouse operations. But because they're all tapping into that exact same central data layer, you get massive scale without ever losing coordination. No crossed wires, just total alignment.
So moving into Section 1, the core foundation and establishing the hub.
You might be wondering, how do we actually bring an asset into the system in the first place? Well, everything starts with the core web app, which honestly makes identifying and registering physical assets just effortless. First, you just snap some photos of the asset. Then, the system's advanced AI instantly proposes a brilliant 5-level classification taxonomy, breaking it down by category, type, subtype, make, and model number, all based on global data. Finally, it goes through a quick human review and approval process. This one-two punch of AI speed and human oversight guarantees flawlessly accurate data entry right from day one.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Once approved, every single asset is assigned a unique, immutable QR code. This instantly locks the digital record straight to a physical location in the real world, which makes audits and tracking practically foolproof. You'll always know exactly what you have and exactly where it's sitting, perfectly setting the stage for your teams heading out into the field.
Which brings us to Section 2, Operations in the Field, focusing on real-time data capture.
Now, the primary tool out in the real world is the AssetPro mobile app, natively built for both iOS and Android. Obviously, it syncs in real time straight to the central platform. But here's the really clever part. It has incredible offline support, meaning if your field teams are out in super remote areas, they are never blocked by spotty network issues. The app just quietly queues the data and syncs it automatically the second they get a connection back. Operators can easily log fuel entries with odometer readings and photo proof, and they can handle on-the-spot QR scanning and tagging. Basically, they're constantly feeding crucial data right back to the central hub without even thinking about it.
Now, what's really interesting here is the contrast. Think about the traditional pain of disconnected legacy systems. You know the drill. They force you into manual inventory updates and this constant, tedious reconciliation between the field and the warehouse. We have all been there, right? When a requested spare part turns out to be out of stock purely because the paperwork hasn't caught up yet. It's the worst. But contrast that with AssetPro operations. When a tech uses a spare part on a maintenance job card out in the field, it automatically updates the warehouse inventory balances in real time. Literally zero manual reconciliation required, just pure, seamless integration.
Let's roll into Section 3, Asset Intelligence in Action, looking specifically at fuel and maintenance.
First up is the Maintenance Intelligence module, and this is where you transform raw operational data into highly actionable maintenance strategies. It gives you job cards with completely transparent audit trails and lets you set up preventative scheduling based on actual usage thresholds or time intervals. It also keeps a complete historical service record for every asset, which, let me tell you, is an absolute lifesaver for warranty claims and compliance audits. And, like we just saw, it links directly to spare parts consumption. Ultimately, this keeps your physical assets running safely and efficiently, minimizing that dreaded downtime.
Right alongside maintenance, we've got the Fuel Intelligence module. This creates comprehensive records of every single refueling event, pulling directly from the mobile app to spit out detailed mileage and efficiency reports per asset. But the real magic? The automated alerts. By pinpointing your exact fuel spend and automatically flagging weird consumption patterns, you can catch missing records immediately or, stop fuel theft dead in its tracks. Moving on to Section 4. Empowering your people. This is all about administration and training.
Okay, so managing people in AssetPro follows a highly logical, structured lifecycle to ensure your data stays totally secure and perfectly accurate. First, you evaluate a candidate's domain knowledge using the dedicated hiring module through structured assessments. Once they pass and get the job, you formally onboard them and assign precise roles and permissions via the Super Admin panel. And finally, you continuously upskill those teams using the built-in training module packed with interactive guides and hands-on exercises. The whole platform practically guarantees that only qualified, thoroughly trained folks are touching your critical business data. So, the crucial point is the Super Admin panel. This acts as the central governance root of the entire system. It completely dictates the organizational context, every single user account, the locations, and the exact permission structure across all 7 modules. This governance layer creates total accountability. It gives you absolute secure control from the top down. You always know exactly who is doing what, and it ensures that the moment a new organization is onboarded, its structure is perfectly configured right out of the gate.
And that brings us to our final section, the integrated advantage. Let's tie it all together.
Let's see how this builds a perfect ecosystem. These modules are constantly depending on and feeding into one another. The web app feeds fuel and maintenance. Maintenance feeds operations. The mobile app feeds back into both fuel and the web app. It's like a giant puzzle coming together perfectly. What this proves is that in AssetPro, every single piece of data works harder. One quick entry on a mobile phone out in the field serves multiple departments simultaneously. Suddenly, your operations team, fleet managers, and warehouse staff are all acting on the exact same intelligence.
And I think this quote from the platform overview just perfectly sums it up. Quote, "An asset registered in the web app or tagged via the mobile app is immediately visible to fuel intelligence, maintenance, and operations. No sync, no duplication, no data silos." End quote. Because everyone is looking at the same single source of truth, the efficiency gains across your departments become obvious almost immediately.
So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to consider. Knowing how an integrated platform functions to create all this value, what are the hidden costs and the daily risks of continuing to rely on disconnected tools to manage your most valuable assets? Just think about the manual reconciliation, the lost time, the hidden data silos, and those inevitable, frustrating errors. We highly encourage you to rethink your current systems and explore how the AssetPro platform can truly transform your operations from the ground up. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and we really look forward to seeing how you leverage these tools to empower your teams.